Hi, welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we're here with James. James finally come back from the States and he's here on another building trip. So he's going to walk us through what's happening at his house with this multi-million-dollar view. So James, how long are you back for, or don't you know?
Yeah, I got my ticket till the 24th.
24th, so
but
it's going to...
there's a pretty big job starting a little bit before that, in another week or so. But
okay, let's turn this around.
all right.
So, can I ask you? You're a pro contractor in the States, aren't you?
I am. I specialize in woodworking now, but I used to do flat work, concrete, poured walls for many years.
Right. So, you're using the basis of all of that experience on your own house.
Exactly. At first, I just let it go. I'm just going to see how it's done in the Philippines.
Right.
And then I thought, well, we're going to put a lot of weight on this thing, so we have to do something different.
Yeah, because it's not just one story, is it? It's not one floor.
Well, I think we'll stick with one floor now instead of two, but
yeah,
because we're going to utilize the basement space for living space.
That's great. Well, let's walk down, and you can tell us about how you've been doing things. There's been a lot of interest, and that's actually that's quite a bit of work that's been done since the last time we were here.
I was many hours just in digging that hole, and they dug it by hand. It's unbelievable.
What, the one in the center?
No,
or
the whole
this
basement.
entire thing?
This entire thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what, we've got Julio down there and Manorado.
Yep.
But a lot of people were interested in this way of doing the pillars, as it's not done like that here.
Right. The thing of it is I don't have the wood here, and I don't have the time to go run after forming material, so I just use the block as a form.
Right.
And they'll stay there, but I do have a grinder that'll go down and straighten things up and shape them a little bit.
Right.
On the final stages, but
it's already beginning to look like a house, James.
Yeah, good.
So can I put to you as questions some of the concerns, shall we call them concerned or questions, about the way that you've constructed the pillars, because for those in the know, they know, sorry, no pun intended, but they know that the concrete blocks here have a very low concentrate of actual cement.
They do. The last 400 we got are just like sand, and I'm not using those.
Right.
In fact, we got a big old pile there. We just grind them to pulp and use them, mix them in
as infill.
Yeah.
Right. So these, have you managed to get
good ones?
An increase in the quality?
Yeah. What we've got is I took a hammer where we got them installed, and took a hammer to it, and they won't break. And out here you can just barely touch them and they'll break. So,
right.
And we also coated them with extra cement, just a cement powder.
Right. And these are filled with, are they filled with concrete, a concrete mix, or are they filled with the same cement mix
concrete
that you're,
mix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not just what you're using for...
Well, they have a mortar mix there, which is just the sand and cement.
Right.
And then when they fill these here, and most of these here, they use the big rock. Put the big rock in there. Right. In the States, we use limestone. I don't know what they use here, what kind of rock these are.
Where they number the gravel, as much as I know, they number it. But I see that you're using a horizontal bar every so often.
Oh yeah. Back there I want it in every row. Up here it's every other row.
Oh, in that back wall you mean?
Mm-hmm. I think we might have missed one or so, but
yeah.
We're putting in a double wall there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that was some of the concerns that some people said. For myself, I would like to have seen an actual walk around the whole thing, but I don't see, you know, from experience, I don't see tons of water heading down there. So, you know, people's concern, I don't know why.
Actually,
but
we
people,
got lucky. We were here when we had two, hurricane force winds and rain,
right,
and most of the water goes around.
right.
And what came down in here, I just blocked it off right there and ran it through the house, and it went out and down.
Right, I haven't seen excessive runs of water.
Yeah.
Unlike the road, after the bridge, the road receives some serious runoff there from the hills.
Oh, it does, yeah.
But it's not quite the same as this hill here, which is, it's a very short run, isn't it? I mean, how much water is going to be coming down? I can't
Not
see that
very
it's
much.
a huge amount.
It's just enough because we backfilled about 18 inches of it,
Right,
and then there's just enough water to settle that down tight.
right.
Then we backfilled some more and just enough water to settle that.
Okay, okay.
And we had a nice surprise the other day. We got here, Monorado had all this backfilled up to the fourth or fifth row there.
Well, you know what we call Manorado? He's the Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, my favourite story about Manorado was when we bought a washing machine, and we arrived down there. This is when it was just a tunnel, I think, or it wasn't concreted, and it had been raining. We couldn't get up the hill, so we were landed with a washing machine, and so we call Manorado, and he goes down there, and we're wondering how the two of us can. Well, I was wondering, he wasn't wondering, and the next thing I know, he's cut the box off the washing machine, and he put the washing machine on his shoulder
And walked it up.
and he carried it up. Now if you know,
Like there's nothing to it, you know.
well, he just did it.
Yeah.
I mean, the man is an Iron Man.
Yeah, workhorse.
Incredible. Him and Perry. I find that Perry is, well, we call
The
Perry
same
the
way.
machine,
Yeah,
and he's one hell of a worker too.
yeah.
So tell us what's going to happen here. We've got two large openings. What's actually visualized for that?
Sliding doors,
Oh wow, well, that will be tremendous because you have
Glass.
that entire,
glass doors.
yeah. That's a fabulous view, you know.
It is. It's just incredible.
Look at that. People don't actually realize how steep that hill is there.
It's really something.
For some reason, no matter how you video it,
You can't get
You
the
can't-
effects.
you can't get it. You know, you just can't. But if we're looking now, and we look at the top of the hill there, which we can see Nanai up there, and if we come down right past you, and we go right down, and we'll see a house down there. And that house is the little house which is actually a little bit higher than the bridge. So even that doesn't show just what a drop there is.
Effects, yeah.
Goes right down to the bridge, and that is the road going down there. It's a little bit overgrown from this particular vantage point, but walking up there is one hell of an exercise.
It is.
So your driveway is going to come up the front here,
Yeah, come in this way probably.
so you're not going to park on the front here, are you? You're going to be up
Park
to
over
there probably.
Well, I'm going to make so you can come in here,
Yeah,
and we'll have a veranda going out there, or porch,
right.
decking, whatever.
And is that so? Is the truck going to be down, or car? It's going to be down there.
It's probably
Some.
two-tier, and then
Right.
we'll have the upper tier and then the lower tier.
So at least you'll be overlooking the roof of the truck, at least, not
Yeah.
looking through the windows
Right.
at your lovely view.
In fact, I started once today to come out here and lay this out for the retaining
Right.
wall, but I got tied up over here.
Right.
Man, the mosquitoes are out. They're driving me crazy.
Ah, yes they are. Now Jessica's been working pretty hard on this too.
Oh, she has. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. But this is what I find about Filipinas, about Filipino women. They're tough.
They're determined.
Yeah, they're tough.
Very determined.
There's no doubt that this is her house. So what's this? Tell us, what is this area here? By how many meters by how many? It's actually
it's
square.
22 feet by 27 feet.
22 by 27.
Yeah. But the digging was so hard. I wanted 24 by 30 or something like that.
Right.
And we already had 100 inches difference from this corner to that corner.
Really?
And yeah, it took a lot of.
Oh, the
tamping.
drop.
It took a lot of tamping and stomping and digging. I mean, that corner of the house, the footing is probably as much concrete in as the rest of it.
Right. Yeah, yeah, there was some concern about that. What I found is that there are many people who are quite skilled contractors in some way or another, and everybody has an opinion, and we know what opinions.
Exactly, and that's fine.
You know.
Who was it that wrote, Emerson or Pluto? Said many people get advice, but only the wise profit from it.
Right.
And basically what I get out of it is keep the good and get rid of the bad.
Right.
Just let it go.
Right. And for these corner pieces now, that's a lot of rebar. We actually saw comments which range from not enough rebar to too much rebar. So somewhere in the middle is room for your own design build.
I find that in my experience is one nail too many is better than one not enough.
Yeah.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. What I found is that very often modern day building is over-designed and underbuilt.
Yeah.
And I prefer under-designed and overbuilt.
Overbuilt, yeah.
So, like you say, better to have a little too much in there when it comes to building. And then when people say, but will it stand up to an earthquake?
Earthquakes are earthquakes.
Nothing will stand. Earthquakes don't care about the code.
Yeah.
They don't respect the code. Mother Nature will have her way.
That's right.
And if you're on the crack there and things get moving,
they're going to move.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it.
And it doesn't care about rebar.
Nope.
You know, on the way to Tagbilaran, I used to notice that a lot of them they've knocked down now, but I used to see what was left of some very fine houses that obviously had a great deal of money spent on them. There's one just after where the new bridge is going in, and the house is a complete mess. The roof is perfect because they've now learned in the Philippines to weld a steel frame to the roof. So all of the roofing frame is in welded metal.
Oh, it is.
And those things are just like, they're like a whole shell.
Oh, wow.
And everything underneath it may go to hell, but that roof
Stays put.
stays.
Wow. And is that because of hurricane winds or is that earthquake?
Well, I think it was earthquake. Yeah. Because you can see where the earth has been shaken underneath.
Oh.
You know, and when it gets shaken from going from left to right, and the house can't follow it. The house doesn't stay there.
Right.
It's like, you know, when you brake, you can brake, but the bodies inside will keep going forward.
The momentum.
Yeah. Well, James, thanks for talking us through.
You're welcome.
There's a great deal of interest in your house, especially that it enjoys this incredible view. It's such an idyllic place.
I think there's 3 more tier going on top of there, or was it
3 more. Oh, 3 more of
rose block?
block.
2 or 3.
Yes, I can see that. Looking at Rado, who I know is about 5'9", and he's shoulder level now.
Yeah.
So another 3 tiers will definitely be up there.
I'm looking for well, right back there in the corner, the tallest rebar you can tell.
Yes.
About 4 inches from the top is the block height, or it was.
Right.
And then I wanted 8-inch block in the worst way, or even 6. And I couldn't get it, so we've got a footing down below, and then when everything's done, we'll have another footer on top, but it's a header.
Right. Right. So that'll go around the entire.
Poured concrete.
Yeah.
Just to help hold the weight, because
So will
I'm
that
not
be?
crazy about these 4-inch blocks.
No, and they're the common. They're the common building, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that that header that will go around the entire, that'll be like a belt going around the whole
Exactly,
thing.
and tied in with maybe 4 run of rebar.
Yeah,
Probably 8 by 10 header.
yeah. Overkill.
Yeah.
A good healthy overkill.
And if I want to go 5 stories, I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, this is a foreigner in the Philippines at Jessica and James's house, which is really coming on now. At what point are you going to pour the floor, do you think?
I don't know, it just depends on, like I said, we have to, probably a year ago we already talked about it, where these 3 major jobs, they were huge jobs coming on, and this is just the second one. The first one we completed, and this is just the second one coming
This is
on.
back in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I committed to 3 of them, and I just about have to get that down. And you can estimate it's going to take 6 or 8 weeks, but
Yeah.
you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's so many little things that factor in there
Right.
that are unaccounted for.
Right.
And,
Unlike what people like to think about America, not everything is perfect there. It's not paradise. It's not the home of the perfectionist. Things can go right and they can go wrong.
yeah, and if you want perfectionists, you got to work at it.
Yeah, well, perfection is we leave to the higher power, I
Yeah.
think. The rest of us do what we can.
Do it the best we can.
Yeah, I think so.
Give it our best.
Thanks, James.
You're welcome.
We'll look forward to talking again.
Alrighty.
Right.